What's going on, guys? Stein back with another video. In this video, I'm titling it, YouTube is the same as books. The information that we gather, I made a post yesterday about deleting your social media. The information we gather is usually either going to be from people, from experiences, or from books, studying, reading, that sort of thing. So when we gather information, we want to gain a sufficient amount of good information, not bad information. For example, consuming information, I talked about this yesterday in my last video. When you delete social media, and let's say you're on YouTube right now, for example, and you're just use YouTube for straight information, you're going to be so much better off than using social media to get information, as far as Instagram, as far as Twitter, Snapchat, all those things. And that's what I meant yesterday when I was talking about why you should delete social media. You should delete those kind of apps: Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, those kind of apps that just kind of drain your time. That's all they do. They're just straight time wasters. All they do is drain your time. And when you consume all that for information, you're not getting anything in return. So that's why what I want to talk about today is how YouTube it's basically a form of books, and how I talk about reading and how reading is so beneficial to your growth. If you're not consuming a bunch of social media like Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, if you're not consuming that at all, then if you're consuming things like this, things like YouTube, something to actually help you grow, something to help you improve, it's going to be beneficial for you, and you're not going to be, even wanting to consume bad things that are not going to drive your life forward. For example, like when I had social media, there'd be days where I'd feel like watching YouTube prank channels or entertainment, things that I thought were funny, or things that were basically just entertainment. And when I had social media, I did that. And as soon as I delete social media, as soon as I delete all of my social media, not once am I thinking about watching entertainment or prank channels, because that's not on my mind, because my consumption of information is real life experiences, because I'm not on my phone all the time on these social media apps. I'm experiencing real life, or I'm on YouTube, like right now, consuming information that is going to be better for you. Or for example, podcasts or books, those are also other things that can improve your life. If you do those three things, YouTube, what I like to call it is educating yourself, or workout videos, anything, mainly educating yourself, because that's the biggest thing. Your mind is everything. It doesn't matter what anyone says, your mind is everything. And when you combine your mind and your body, that's why I talk about working out all the time. If you combine your mind and body, that's everything. Once you combine these, you're gonna be very, very well off, and I've read that in multiple books. So if we go back to the social media, and we get information from books, and the reason why I do want to stress this as getting information from YouTube is I'm subscribed to channels and I have my notification bell, which I suggest you do for me as well. And the reason why I do that is it basically alerts my phone that, okay, these are new videos coming out, I'm going to watch them if they're beneficial, and if they're not, then I'm not going to watch them. So that's basically how I do think. And the reason why I said this is because YouTube is relevant, and books can be old, and I've talked about this before about how some books can be a little bit outdated, but for the most part, I don't think that they are that outdated. And that's why I say use YouTube, because it's not outdated. If you get a brand new notification that this person just posted a video, it's not going to be outdated, and it's going to be relevant information, and it's going to be up to date, and you're going to have immediate action steps. My mentor, FitX Fearless, told me that you can find anything you want on YouTube, the platform you're using right now. You can find anything you want on this video. And I thought that was crazy to think about, because it's true. You can either Google anything or you can YouTube anything, I mean, they're owned by the same guy, the co-owners. Like Google bought YouTube, or like they're the same owners. So, and that's why they're one of the top 5 money making, because every single person uses them. Like, who doesn't use? If you want to know something, most people will YouTube it, like, or Google it. And a lot of people, some people don't take advantage of this, which is very, very crucial. That's not. It doesn't make any sense, because we have this information at our. I mean, we're living in really good times right now, because I keep listening to podcasts. Andy Frisella, for example, he's in his 40s or 50s, and he talked about how he had to go to the library and get a book to learn how to do, like, instead of right now where you could go on Google and you could search up how to blah 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 blah, and it'll pop up and it'll show you exactly what to do. That's what I do all the time. I do any question I have, usually my first source is going to be Google. And if it's more of an in-depth question, then I'm going to have to do some more research, and more research, and then check relevant sources to make sure that this source is going to be something that you want to follow up, because everyone's going to have their own opinion. Like, I'm giving you guys my own opinion, and other people are going to have other opinions on that as well. People are going to have opinions on my opinion. So it's like opinion. But the people that I follow are people that are doing things that I want to do. So that's what I stress to you guys, is follow people that you want to do what they say. Brandon Carter says 3 steps in life. 3 steps to success in life by Brandon Carter. He says, find someone who's done what you've done. Number 2, buy their coaching or their book, whatever it is they're selling. And number 3, do what they say. If you do that, you will have success in life, because there is someone who's doing exactly what you want to do right now, and they will give you a step-by-step instruction of how to get there. And most information is here on YouTube, the platform we're using right now. Most information that you want to accomplish is here on YouTube. Like I said, this is why it's the top 5 money-making product services in the world, because everyone is using it, and that's why it makes the most money. So it makes sense to use this often, and follow people that are doing things that you want to do. Like I just subscribed to somebody else on YouTube today, just before this video, because they're doing something that I want to do. So I'm going to subscribe to them. I'm going to follow it. I'm going to see what they have to say, because most of the time what they have to say is going to be very beneficial. And that goes with another thing, is when you want to be producing, you want to be consuming things that are good for you. This is why I talked about deleting social media, because it's just it has no benefit to your life unless it either motivates you, inspires you. Like, why do you need to know that this person is at a park with their dog? Like, it doesn't, and they post it so everyone can see. But if they really wanted you to know, they would message you and send you a picture of them at the park with their dog. But they don't want you to know. Like, they don't care about you that much. People, and this is another thing I've learned, and it's so true. No one really cares about you as much as you really think. And it's really, really insane how true this is, that no one cares about you as much as you think. And once I realized this, it makes the most sense. If you ever are wondering what you should do, if you should do this, do that, realize that other people really don't care what you're doing. Like, you're the only person that's going to care as much about yourself than anybody else. It's one thing I read in 50th Law by Robert Greene and 50 Cent. He talks about how yourself, you are going to be the only person who cares about yourself as much as you care. Like, no one, like, self-interest is said in the book. Self-interest is the number one thing that you care about the most. Like, no one else cares about you more than you, and it just makes the most sense. And that's why you have, some people who care about other people than other people, and and this is why you need to be accountable for yourself, and you need to put in the work and not make up excuses, and and just put in the day-to-day work, day-to-day actions. Like I said, my mentor, FitX Fearless, action, action, action. That's what he says. 3 actions, just like when you're buying a house. 3 things that matter the most: location, location, location. So, YouTube, as a form of books, it will propel your life forward, because if you're learning things, you're always growing. That's why we're always going to strive. You've got to be learning or else you're dying. On a day-to-day basis, you have to learn or else you're going to die. I stress that of importance all the time. My mind is always racing all the time. This is why it's also very important to meditate, very important to sleep, so you can give your mind some time off of thinking, because it's always, your mind's always going to be thinking like this, always, constantly, and it's an amazing thing to do. It's an amazing thing what your mind can do. It's absolutely insane. And that's why if you have control over your mind cannot control you. So that's very, very important. So I strongly urge you, use YouTube as a form of books, as not entertainment, as education. Just like books are education, they're learning. Same thing with YouTube. You can learn from YouTube on a day-to-day basis, just like you can from books. And this is why I just said yesterday, I wouldn't pick just books, I wouldn't pick just YouTube, I would choose them both. I said yesterday in my in my YouTube video. If you had a choice between picking 2 things, choose them both. There's no one or the other. Pick them both, because they're both going to be beneficial towards you in the long run. You can figure out a way to get them both. Like, there is a way to get both things that you want, and there will be, there's a way. So, use them both. Use books and use YouTube. Use them both. Follow people that will inspire you and motivate you to improve. And because that's what it's all about. It's all about growing. It's all about improving. It's all about learning. So follow those types of people on YouTube. Use YouTube and use books. Use both of them. Grow, strive, and improve. That is the video for today. Like the video, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and we will see you in the next video.